What's up everybody, my name is Paper and today we're going to be talking about the deck that I used to get to Infinite in the Warriors of Wakanda season. This deck combines some of my favorite cards and strategies into one deck, so it was a no-brainer that I was going to have a ton of fun when I put this together. This deck helped me with the final push into Infinite, and in fact I went from 88 to 100 in only a few hours on stream. I'm calling this deck Domino In Control. We'll start by talking about the namesake of this deck, Domino. Domino is a card that seems pretty polarizing in Marvel Snap. Most people either love her or they really hate her. I find her consistency super important, even with two other 2-cost cards in the deck. Since most decks run only 1 or 2 1-cost cards, most games start with both players skipping turn 1. With a guaranteed turn 2 play, Domino gives your deck priority on turn 3 against most turn 2 plays, most notably Angela and Bucky Barnes. This allows this deck to play Polaris on turn 3 to pull these cards out of their lanes and more often than not disrupt the combo that your opponent is building. I've got an article on marvelsnapzone.com where I go more in depth on some of the numbers and strategies for Domino. I'll leave a link for that in the description below. It's difficult to nail down what the core of this deck is since it combines a couple of cores that we've seen in other decks. We'll start with the movement core. The move core contains some of the strongest cards in the game in my opinion. Polaris, Arrow, and Magneto all have great stats and extremely disruptive effects. All of these cards move your opponent's cards to their location, and playing these 3 cards in one game results in some serious control while adding a ton of power to your side of the board. If you watched my previous video, I talked about how good Arrow and Polaris were, but we've opted to add Magneto in this list for even more power and control. The second core of this deck are a series of control-oriented cards. Daredevil, Professor X, and Leader all provide the ability to control the game in your favor. Daredevil allows you to see your opponent's turn 5 play before you make your own play. This can often result in an instant lockdown victory of one of the lanes by using Professor X. It also can be used to see plays that can be countered in other ways, such as a play onto a Wong lane that can be disrupted by Arrow. Professor X is also a great card to play onto a Thor lane that has the possibility of building more power on turn 6 with Mjolnir. Leader is a super powerful turn 6 option when you are already ahead in 2 out of the 3 lanes. Play Leader to match any power that your opponent throws out, keeping you ahead when the game ends. This deck also features a reactive disruption core. Killmonger, Shang-Chi, and Enchantress are all counter/disruption cards that can swing games in your favor with their counter abilities. Killmonger takes care of all 1-cost cards on the board where we run none. Shang-Chi controls the game simply by destroying your opponent's 9 or higher power cards opposite of him. Enchantress nullifies all ongoing effects at her location, of which again we run none. All of these cards are great for reacting to your opponent's deck in different ways. I'm a firm believer that every deck should include 1 or 2 counter cards to allow for reactive play and give you a better shot to win. The last cards in the deck are relatively optional. Angela is currently the strongest 2-cost card in the game, and Thor is one of my favorite cards in the game with the potential to be 10 power for 3 energy. Both of these cards can be replaced with anything else that you'd like. As for the play paths of this deck, I almost always play Domino on turn 2, followed by Polaris or Thor. This deck doesn't have a strong turn 4 play, so I often found myself playing both Angela and Daredevil on turn 4, which actually works out pretty well in this deck. By turn 5, you hopefully have Daredevil on the board and you can use your tool belt of control and disruption cards to set yourself up for victory on turn 6. This is one of my favorite decks I've come up with yet. Obviously Thor and Domino are a couple of my favorite cards, so that helps, but this deck always seems to have an answer for whatever your opponent plays. I believe that control as an archetype is extremely powerful in Marvel Snap. With only 21 energy per game, each play is super purposeful and having your board moved around and destroyed makes it super difficult to win. This deck does contain some of the most powerful cards in Marvel Snap. I do think that some of these cards will get nerfed in the future, and depending on the severity of these nerfs, I think this deck can still survive based solely on the fact that it is such a controlling and disruptive deck. And with that, I'll leave you with some gameplay of the deck from my stream. There are some "Oh snap" alerts from my stream in most of these clips that I didn't realize were being recorded, so just bear with those for this video. I stream every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 6:30 p.m. Pacific time, so catch me there for more Marvel Snap content. Thanks for watching, and as always, good luck snapping. Because I feel like they're gonna go a little buck wild with their play here. So we're gonna play leader. We'll play leader on the Angela lane.
Wind aid my hand.
Nice, nice, nice. Spider Woman, okay. The Thor variant is beautiful. It's my favorite. It's so cool.
Aid my hand.
Got it in black and white. So cool. We just throw Thor in the flooding so we can draw Mjolnir later. Always get powered up. Polaris, he pulls my Domino in. I'm fine with that too. Now we're actually tied, so Mjolnir will just win me the game. Or win me that. I can also play Polaris to pull Angela out of that. That's an interesting play. I'm kind of hoping more for Magneto draws, but we'll see. Iron Man? Play Arrow, pull the Iron Man, and then we can Enchantress the Iron Man next turn. We have a couple of paths that we can take here.
I am Iron Man.
So now he's forced to play in the middle to win this. You have all the cards at this point after 6 months? Yes. I've had all the cards for probably 3 months now. So we'll play Polaris to pull the Angela. We'll forfeit this middle lane and hope that they don't play on the right lane. Oh, they played on the right lane, so let's see if they beat 5 power.
Oh, snap!
They probably did. And oh, nice.
Victory.
Yeah, so see, we pull Polaris. We use Polaris to pull the Angela out of flooded. Helps us win this flooded lane that they can't play in anymore. And then they actually helped us with Arrow. So Elysium's great for us. We're going to play on the Colossus lane to try to contest it.
Face the might of Asgard. Mjolnir.
Elysium, we can play leader on 5, which is pretty strong for us. They didn't play anything last turn. I feel like Killmonger is not going to be used here. I'm waiting for their armor to drop though. I think they might play their armor. They've got to have it, right? Their Miracle can be made with just pull 2 as well, but you need Sarah. Yeah, if you have Sarah, sure. Yeah. Ultron with Kazoo, another pull 3 card with pull 2 deck. Yeah, I guess you can do that one as well. There aren't many, but there are definitely some that work. We're gonna play Polaris first so that she tries to pull Colossus and can't, and then Enchantress to remove their ongoing effects. Removing the ongoing effects with Enchantress in case they're playing a Spectrum. It also makes them weaker, so. Magic, we're okay with the Magic play. They currently don't have any ongoing effects, so Spectrum cannot go off.
Oh, snap!
We're going to play Magneto on the middle lane to pull Mr. Fantastic to the middle. We have 17 power here. They're going to have 5 power with 2 cards, so. But you need to mostly pull 3 cards plus Sarah. What build are you talking about? I mean, you can play mostly like, you can play like Angela, Bishop. You can play like a lot of the early like smaller cards with Sarah and to still great effect. Does she work better with pull 3 cards? Like if you can get your hands on some pull 3 cards, sure. Everybody's gonna work better with more pull 3 cards, but that Wong Gambit actually kind of deadly. Yo, also thanks Binks for the raid. I just saw that. What's going on, guys? Hope you had a good stream, man. We had one crazy game today. They didn't see each other very much after that, or before or after that game, but that was a pretty crazy game. Okay. It's honestly just to make sure that I have advantage. Like I just told you, this is the exact situation that I just told you about. Like, now I have the advantage. They're probably going to try to play something on the Angela lane here to give Angela more power. Since we have priority, Polaris is going to pull Angela off. You just try to put 2 cards on Angela, and now neither of those cards are going to give Angela more power. So, like, I just completely countered this Angela play. He'll play more cards on it later, but he doesn't get that early power, which means we're gonna maintain priority for most of these early turns. Any chance there's a discount in Premium Pass for Black Friday? No, I do not think so.
Oh, snap!
My hand.
We're gonna play Arrow here just in case they try to do something weird where they're trying to make it
Snap!
Because like a lot of times people will play Storm and then not play there to try to juke you out, but I'm gonna call his bluff and I'm gonna play Arrow here to force. Once again, I'm denying Angela as well. I'm forcing his hand. So now he's got an Iron Man that he can't do anything with it. And since we're winning all 3 lanes here, we can just play leader and we're safe to win the game. Usually I would snap here.
Oh, snap!
There should be no way that they win this. They can play a Dr. Doom, which would add 10 power to the right, but that would win the right, but I think we win everything else despite that.
Oh, snap!
This person the entire game has been trying to get this Angela some power, and it's just not been working out for him.
Oh, snap!
And that's basically a perfect game for this deck. We're gonna play Polaris. So a lot of people, this guy didn't plan this, but a lot of people will play Nightcrawler on Muir Island and then be able to move him later at like 6 power. Very, very strong. He didn't plan for this to happen, but I'm just gonna Polaris this Nightcrawler out of here so he doesn't get powered up.
Wind, aid my hand.
So in this game, I feel like I'm okay to not contest this Storm. I feel like I can just win a lot harder by playing this Angela Daredevil on the right. I'm not worried. I think they're going to play like Jessica Jones or something in here. So I'm just going to play on the right. Just not worry about it. I should be able to win the middle and the right. Punisher, I would have still lost that. Only 5 power to there, he would have been a 6. Now we have Professor X, we can lock down the lane. Hopefully they play in Muir Island and then we can just lock down the middle, because I'm a little bit more nervous about the middle than I am about the right, but yeah. Iron Man. So we win this by locking this down. They're only going to have 4 power here. And then they have a huge hill to climb by trying to win this right lane.
Oh, snap!
We have priority, so we cannot play Shang-Chi or Enchantress to any effect, so we just play Arrow here. And yeah.
Victory!
Hey, if you made it this far into the video, I just wanted to say thanks for watching. I release Marvel Snap videos every Monday on YouTube, and I stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday on twitch.tv/paper. I'm beginning to pump out a lot more content here on YouTube, so if you subscribe below, that would mean a lot to me. Again, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you later.